Welcome, my dear subscribers, followers, ladies and gentlemen. In this lecture, I'll explain the balanced growth theory. The balanced growth theory was put forward by Ragnar Nurkse, and according to Ragnar Nurkse, this hypothesis or this theory of balanced growth theory assumes that the government of any underdeveloped country needs to make large investment in a number of industries simultaneously, including manufacturing sector and agricultural sector. By doing so, this will enlarge the market size, it will increase productivity and provide an incentive for the private sector to invest. And if they invest more, there will be more production and there will be more saving, there will be more income, and there will be more investment. And by this way, we can break the vicious circle of poverty. According to Nurkse, Nurkse was in favor of attaining balanced growth in both the industrial and agricultural sectors of the economy. He recognized that the expansion and intersectoral balance between agriculture and manufacturing is necessary so that each of these provides a market for the products of the other and in turn supplies the necessary raw materials for the development and growth of the other sector. Nurkse as well as Paul Rosendine-Roden were the pioneers of balanced growth theory, and much of how it is understood today dates back to their work. Nurkse theory discusses how the poor size of the market in underdeveloped countries perpetuates its underdeveloped state. He has clarified the vicious determinants of the market size and puts primary focus on productivity. So according to Nurkse, the only way for an underdeveloped economy to grow and develop is to increase its productivity. According to him, if the productivity levels rise in a less developed country, its market size will expand and thus it can eventually become a developed economy. The size of a market assumes primary importance in the study of what induces investment in a country. Nurkse asserted that inducement to investment is limited by the size of the market. When the size of the market is limited, there will be little inducement to invest, so the investor will not invest more. But if the market size is expanded, then they will invest more. According to Nurkse, underdeveloped countries lack adequate purchasing power, and due to lack of low purchasing power, the real income of the people is low, although in monetary terms it may be high, but in real terms the income of the people in less developed countries is low. So if the income is low, then their saving will be low, and when their saving is low, then investment will be low. So if the money income were low, the problem could easily be overcome by expanding the money supply. However, since the meaning in this context is real income, expanding the supply of money will only generate inflationary pressure. So neither real output nor real investment will rise. A low purchasing power means that domestic demand for commodities is low. Apart from encompassing consumer goods and services, this includes the demand for capital as well. The size of the market determines the incentive to invest irrespective of the nature of the economy. This is because entrepreneurs invariably take their production decisions by taking into consideration the demand for the concerned product. According to Ragnar, the limited size of the domestic market in a low-income country can thus constitute an obstacle to the application of capital by any individual firm or industry working for that market. In this sense, the small domestic market is an obstacle to developed generally. So, according to this theory, Ragnar says that large-scale investment in many sectors simultaneously is necessary so that there is complementarity between the demand of the various sectors, and that would lead to expansion in the size of the market, and finally economic growth and development will take place. Now we will discuss the determinants of the size of the market, because it assumes an importance of pivotal paramount importance. According to Nurkse, expanding the size of the market is crucial to increasing the inducement to invest. Only then can the vicious circle of poverty be broken. He mentioned the following pertinent points about how the size of the market is determined, and these include money supply, population, geographical area, transport cost and trade barriers, sales promotion, and productivity. We will explain all these points one by one. So Nurkse emphasized that Keynesian theory should not be applied to underdeveloped countries because they don't face a lack of effective demand in the way that developed countries do. Their problem is to do with a lack of real purchasing power due to low productivity levels. Thus, merely increasing the supply of money will not expand the market, but will in fact cause inflationary pressure. So, regarding the determinants of the size of market, the first determinant according to Ragnar is population. Nurkse argued against the notion that a large population implies a large market. It is not necessary. If the population of a country is large, then the size of the market is also large in that country. Though underdeveloped countries may have larger population, their levels of productivity are low according to Ragnar Nurkse. This results in low levels of per capita real income. Thus, consumption expenditure is low, and savings are either very low or completely absent. On the other hand, developed countries have smaller populations than underdeveloped countries, but by virtue of high levels of productivity, their per capita real incomes are higher, and thus they create a large market for goods and services domestically. The second determinant, according to Ragnar, is a geographical area. Nurkse also refuted the claim that if a country's geographical area is large, the size of its market also ought to be large. A country may be extremely small in area but still have a large effective demand. In contrast, a country may have a huge geographical area but its market may still be small. This may occur if a large part of the country is uninhabitable, or if the country suffers from low productivity levels and thus has a low national income. Transport cost and trade barriers are the other determinants of the size of the market. Ragnar emphasized that due to high transport costs between nations, producers and exporters do not have an incentive to export their commodities. As a result, the amount of capital accumulates remains small. Ragnar is known as an export pessimist. Export pessimism is a trade theory which is governed by the idea of inward looking or import substitution, or as opposed to the outward looking growth or export. This is also known as the export promotion or export expansion. Sales promotion. Often it is true that a country's private endeavor to increase the demand for its products succeeds due to the extensive use of advertisement and other sales promotion techniques. However, Nurkse argues that such activities cannot succeed at the macro level to increase the country's aggregate demand level. He calls this the macroeconomic paradox. According to Ragnar Nurkse, productivity is the most important determinant of the size of the market. He stressed productivity as the primary determinant of the size of the market, and he thinks that an increase in the productivity increases the flow of goods and services in the economy. As a result, consumption will also increase. Hence, an underdeveloped economy should aim to raise its productivity level in all sectors of the economy, in particular industry and agriculture. For example, in most underdeveloped economies, the technology used to carry out agricultural activities is backward. There is a low degree of mechanization in agriculture, coupled with the huge dependence on natural calamities or natural vagaries. So, while a large proportion of the population may be actively employed in agriculture sector, the contribution to the GDP may still be low. For example, in Pakistan, it is said that more than 65% of the population is directly or indirectly involved in agriculture sector, yet its contribution to the gross domestic product is somewhat like 19 to 20% of the GDP. So this points to the need to increase output per unit input and output per head. This can be done if the government provides irrigation facilities, high yielding varieties, seeds, pesticides, fertilizer, tractors, agriculture research and extension services, etc. The positive outcome of this is that farmers earn more income and have a higher purchasing power, that is, higher real income. Their demand for other products in the economy will rise, and this will provide industrialists an incentive to invest in the country. Thus, the size of the market expands and improves the condition of the underdeveloped country. And this flow chart shows how increase in productivity leads to economic growth and development through increase in the flow of goods and services, and increase in the consumption and expansion in the market size, and that would lead to inducement to investment for the farm, and in turn it leads to economic growth and development of the country. Nurkse was of the opinion that Say's law of market separates in an underdeveloped economy. Thus, if the money income of the people rise while the price level in the economy stays the same, the size of the market will still not expand till the real income and productivity levels increase. To quote Nurkse, in underdeveloped areas, there is generally no deflationary gap, though excessive savings. Through excessive savings, production creates its own demand, and the size of the market depends on the volume of the production. In the last analysis, the market can be enlarged only through all-round increase in productivity. Capacity to buy means capacity to produce. So, to sum up, Nurkse understands that an underdeveloped economy can be developed, and it can lead to economic growth of an underdeveloped country if productivity levels increase in the underdeveloped country, and that would be possible if there is a huge investment to invest, and that could be possible by the expansion in the market size, and that could be made possible by increasing the real income or purchasing power of the farmers. Ladies and gentlemen, this was a brief interpretation and explanation of the Ragnar Nurkse balanced growth theory. I hope this was quite informative for you. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, kindly do subscribe, and don't forget to click on the bell icon. Thanks for watching this video. Kindly share